Derby County are one of a range of Championship clubs chasing after the potential signing of Barry Bannan from Sheffield Wednesday, who find themselves in a little bit of a pickle. Now, the owner at Sheffield Wednesday has failed to pay the wages of both non-playing staff and playing staff on a range of different occasions across the course of the last 12 months, and that has led to them being given a 3-transfer window ban, as well as a range of players who are out of contract only being able to be offered contracts up to £7,000 a week. Now, this could mean that their current captain, 35-year-old Barry Bannan, is available for transfer and is available for a club to put their paws onto. Now, it is being reported by Yorkshire Post that Derby County and Stoke City are currently monitoring the circumstances regarding Barry Bannan, as obviously the heartbreaking situation has been announced. Now, many of you may know, many of you may not know, Barry Bannan played for Derby back in 2008-2009, where he made 10 appearances in the Championship, scoring 1 goal and collecting 1 assist. But could he be returning to Pride Park Stadium this summer? Let's take a deeper dive. If you have not done so already, head on over to the community page of this YouTube channel. I've put a poll out there at about 3 o'clock. It might have been a bit earlier than that, actually, discussing a potential live stream for fixture release. So make sure you go and vote on that. I'll put it on screen now, but make sure you head on over, vote on that. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments as well, and I'll catch you in the next part of this video. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Now, Barry Bannan has made 27 appearances for the Scottish national team and has been at Sheffield Wednesday realistically for as long as I can remember. It seems like he's always been there, and obviously when he played for Derby County all that time ago, I was, 5-6 years old at that point, and it's mad to see sort of how well he's progressed in his career. He's obviously had some really, really good spells of football. Obviously, dropped down to League One with Sheffield Wednesday, which at the time I was very surprised about. I did think personally that he'd have stayed in the division, gone back to the Championship, but he stayed with them in League One, got them back to the Championship, and now it looks as if it could be written in the stars that Sheffield Wednesday go back down to League One again with, I think it's a 3-transfer window embargo, limited to £7,000 a week on free agents and new contracts and things like that, which ultimately mean that many of the players that are currently at Sheffield Wednesday may find themselves moving on in this summer transfer window and may not even be able to accept contracts that they may have potentially been offered. Now, we know obviously the circumstance with their manager, Danny Roll, who could potentially be moving away anyway. But at the moment, Sheffield Wednesday don't want to let him go because they don't want to lose the compensation they may receive. But let's take a bit of a deeper dive into Barry Bannan's career. He's played 45 games in 24-25, scoring 4 goals, collecting 6 assists and 7 yellow cards, 3,577 minutes. Now, he's obviously played the majority of that football through the middle of the park. He can play as a 10, he can play as an 8, he can play as one of those deeper pivot controlling midfielders, which I think is absolutely what Derby County need. Now, I personally wouldn't have him as sort of that type of box-to-box type, but having him involved in a double pivot or that midfielder sitting just ahead of the back four, I think he could be absolutely phenomenal, and he's got the technical ability that, in my opinion, Derby County have been missing across the course of a range of different years, including last season. I think we missed a bit of technical edge in the middle of the park. Now, if we want to talk about his career as a whole, 630 games across the course of all competitions, including playing in the UEFA Cup, Europa League qualifying all the way back 15 years ago. 48 goals, 95 assists, 104 yellows, 2 reds, 49,094 minutes. Now, As I mentioned earlier, played for Derby back in 2008-2009 season, made 10 appearances for the club, scoring once, collecting 1 assist with 2 yellow cards, only 580 minutes, but he had an impact for Derby County that season. Obviously came to Derby on a loan spell from Aston Villa. He spent time at Blackpool, he spent time at Leeds United, Crystal Palace, Bolton Wanderers, before then making the move to Sheffield Wednesday back in 2015-16, and he has been there ever since. Now, he's a very, very versatile player, can play through the middle, can play in the wide areas, but obviously coming towards the back end of his career at 35 years old, you don't really want to be putting him in those wide positions. You sort of want him in the middle of the park, and I think that's probably very noticed across the course of it, the positional chart when you look at it. 329 appearances in central midfield, 62 as a number 10, 56 as sort of that sitting midfielder, which I think sort of speaks volumes of where he is going to play and how important he's going to be in that role. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, he's been at Sheffield Wednesday for pretty much the last 10 years, 447 games, 34 goals and 72 assists to his name in that time period. And obviously, as we all know and love, a very, very big championship player with 374 appearances, 18 goals and 51 assists. In League One, 86 appearances, 16 goals and 24 assists. Obviously not sort of the best of records when it comes to the Premier League, but obviously he hasn't played in the Premier League since 2013-14. Made 7 appearances in 14-15 actually for Crystal Palace, but only 136 minutes. So certainly made the right move in leaving Crystal Palace at that point in time. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this move does sort of develop. I think it adds something that Derby County need in that midfield, especially at the base, with a player who has the technical ability to play out, to cause problems, and also create chances. Now, there's a lot of people, when you talk about Barry Bannan, that obviously have their own opinions of him, and that is completely fine. I think Bannon is one of those players that you hate to play against him, but you'd love to play with him, or him to play for you, essentially. And I do think it'd be a good move for Derby. Now, I think a lot of people are going to look at the age factor, and you look at the links to Weimann, which is a deal that's apparently done. Danny Bath, 33 Weimann, 35 Danny Bath, 35 Barry Bannan. You then look at obviously Dawson, who we've been linked to, 35 again. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset with the age ranges, but I think it's one of those things that you've just got to be sort of very, very cautious about, in my opinion, because with the age, you get the experience. Yes, you also get the fatigue, but you get the experience that I think sometimes you need in a team to sort of build it from being a bottom of the pack to a mid pack to a top team, in my opinion. If you don't have the right players, in my opinion, if you don't have the right experience behind them, you're essentially fucked, in my opinion. I think it's Derby County had the right experience last season. You look at Matt Clark, solid championship centre-half. You look at Craig Forsyth, solid championship full-back and centre-half. And you also look at some of the other players around the group. I'm not saying that they were like phenomenal players for us, but Mendes Lang has experience. You look at Ibu Adams, was obviously a brilliant player. He's got not experience at the championship, but he's got a lot of footballing experience, and sort of being at that level that he was last year was very, very good to see. But then you also need that naivety in youth, and that's where I think like the loan market comes in. You look at Harrison Armstrong last season. I think his youth naivety is what helped Derby County through towards the back end of the season as well. I thought Harrison Armstrong was phenomenal for Derby County. Now, I think that is the sort of role that Bannon would take if he was to sign at Derby County, but obviously you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Now, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, turn on that notification bell, check out all my links down in the description, and I'll catch you in my next video. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.